Oh boy. Y'all give me a second. Give me a second. Already got that over there. Okay. Might be a little late, so folks might not be in the house. So I'm gonna give everybody a couple more minutes before I get started. Yeah, I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes. Plus, I'm gonna do something about this light because there ain't enough light right here. There. Yeah. Let me just get rid of this thing sitting up here. I don't know why I still got this sitting up here. I'll be putting something else here instead of clogging up all these other outlets. Let's just start here. Put this one over here. And if I lose you now, I think I would die. Oh man, all you can will always be my. You can make it shine. Whatever at a minute at a time. More than a woman. More than a woman to me, baby. More than a woman to me. Get at you, fucker. Sons of bitches. All right. Let's get this. Let's get it cracking. We ain't gonna wait too long because I know this late and a lot of y'all on the East Coast, a lot of y'all on on that Eastern time zone. And well, if you're in the Central time zone like I am, you probably wind it down as well. So I wanted to do a quick live stream while everything's still fresh in my head about what happened last night with the Democratic debates. Everybody was talking about it. everywhere I was going today, and I thought it was interesting some of the goings on with the interactions between the candidates and how they were relating to each other. I thought it was very interesting how they got down last night. Very interesting. I think we're seeing what I would consider what I would consider to be new wave politics. And in so doing, people are the gloves came off last night, especially between Tulsi Gabbard and Kamala Marsala Harris. And also everybody who was interacting with Biden. And but what really got my attention, ladies and gentlemen, was the exchange between Tulsi Gabbard and Kamala Marsala Harris. That was very interesting. And let me talk about that for a quick second. That was very interesting because I was surprised somebody called Kamala Harris on her prosecutorial record as a San Francisco County prosecutor, DA, and also the Attorney General of California. I was so glad she did that, and I was so glad that she attacked her record. See, you have to understand, we, the new black media, the internet-based media, as well as the grassroots, got these gnats in here, man. I got some of that netting that you put up when you're in the field, when you're in the military. Yeah, you Army and Marines brothers know what I'm talking about. Air Force, y'all know what I'm talking about too. You know, that green mesh that keep the mosquitoes out. We used to put on the tents when we went out in the field. Man, I got one of them on my back door, and to keep the flies out, so I keep my back door, because with the way my house is set up, I don't have a back door in here, so the food smell stays in the house instead of going out of the house like I did at that other place, because I had a sliding glass door and the kitchen's right there, so the food goes out. So now I put that mesh up, and it keeps the flies out, but can't keep them gnats out. I don't know how you keep them out. But anyway, that surprised me that Tulsi Gabbard called her on her record. I'm surprised anybody, normally most debates are centered around the candidate's record as whatever the politician position they're in at the time. Like if they're a senator or congressman, congresswoman, mayor, whatever. But you have to understand, with the grassroots and the new black media, those of us who are part of that new black media, they're listening to us more than you think they are. See, people will look at some of my live streams. I got live streams on Facebook that's got 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000 views. But then I got live streams that only got 50 views. And so they are paying attention, people. If you think they're not, then why are they talking about reparations? Reparations talk didn't start at the level of with the folks that are supposed to be, people who's supposed to be in Cobra and so-called civil rights leaders. None of them have been talking about reparations. The only people who've been talking about reparations are us. Okay? The new black media, the internet-based media. We are the only ones talking about reparations. And you saw they started talking about reparations. Okay? But they're still not addressing it in the proper context, because you have to understand it, in media in this country, they're always trying to not offend the southern states, the inward southern states. And what I mean by that is southern states from like the New Mexico, Texas border, all the way to about Alabama, maybe half of Georgia. How the media splits the country up like that is it's those people, those Caucasian people from Texas, the New Mexico, Texas border, like Hobbs, New Mexico, all the way to half of Georgia. That's one segment. And then going all the way down from maybe New York City, Boston all the way down to New York City, all the way down that sliver past that coastline of the Carolinas, all the way down to Florida. That's another region. Okay. So let me finish that thought. So from Texas to half of Georgia, and then the Midwest going all the way up where we are, all the way up as far as the Twin Cities. I'm not in the Twin Cities. I'm about almost 300 miles from them. Anyway, but I am in the Midwest now. Those two sectors in America are very important, because that's where the most conservative people are. People think the most conservative people are in southern states. That's not true. The most conservative people are in this Midwestern area, and that area from Texas all the way through half of Georgia, but not including Atlanta. Y'all see what I'm saying? That's why I say all the way from Boston all the way going down to Miami, that's considered liberal. The coast of, maybe not so much South Carolina, but definitely North Carolina is a lot more liberal. You got a lot of blacks in Charlotte. Got a lot of blacks in Greenville. I got some frat brothers from Greenville. Okay, got a lot of brothers that I know from Raleigh, Durham, that's from there. So all that going all the way down to Miami, that's considered liberal. But those southern states plus the Midwest going, from Missouri going, Missouri, Kansas, all of that, Illinois, all the way to Detroit, all of that is considered the Midwest, going all the way to the Dakotas, way up there. Okay. So that's considered conservativeville. Although there's other conservative places like Phoenix. Like the state of Arizona. The state of Arizona is just as racist as Mississippi. If you don't believe me, drive through there. They pulling every black person over they see. The state troopers are. Okay? Arizona ain't a city to play with. I know, because I've dealt with Phoenix police. They gaffled me over some nonsense. Okay? Took my ride and everything. I was left out there in the street. I had nowhere to go. That's a story for another day, though. Okay, so that's how they market movies. Those of you who are in marketing, or those of you in advertising, you know what I'm talking about. If you're in media, They advertise totally different to the Midwest and the South, because that's considered to be the heart of the conservative types. Okay, so they keep that in mind, that those folks think differently than, say, everybody else. So they, even with movies and TV shows, they might not even release those. Let's just stick with movies. They might not release those movies in those areas until they see how the movie does on both coasts. They'll release the movie from like maybe New Mexico all over, and then they'll release it from maybe Detroit all the way over through the Northeast, then down to Miami, but then maybe limited theaters, like maybe in cities like Mobile, New Orleans, the cities that got a large Black population. They may release that movie there. They might release that movie in Baton Rouge, Shreveport, and New Orleans, but not release it in other cities around there. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're more Caucasian populated. But it's the same thing. It's kind of the same strategy when it comes to politics. But obviously it's a little bit different, but that's how they think. That's how these pollsters think. And that's how these movie executives and television executives think. Okay? So if you wonder why things are different than how come they just won't go out all the way out and do this or do that all over the country? That's why. Because people in these Caucasians in the Midwest and these Caucasians in the South, going all the way to half of Georgia, they got totally different views of things. And they might not want to see no Black person in a certain movie. They might release a movie with Denzel in it all over the country, because there's certain Blacks that are considered accepted as far as the numbers are concerned. But the one thing I noticed with the debate last night is, and I know I kind of went off on a tangent there. It's a little late, but I just want to get a couple of things out. We ain't gonna be here too long, y'all. And so hey D Fernandez, what's up, player? Yeah, man, the color scheme. Yeah, I'm downstairs, man. I'm down here in the dining room, and I got my candles back here. Got my little y'all get y'all Himalayan salt lamps yet? Yeah, this be tripping me out, dog. But they tell me it's supposed to be healthy, so I got one. Everybody I know got this. Like, yeah, man, I got mine like 2 weeks ago, player. I'm like, all right, cuz. Yeah, so you know how it is. Let me grab my other phone, man, so I can text my cousin, let him know I might be coming through there while we talking. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Tulsi Gabbard attacked Kamala Harris's prosecutorial record. I didn't expect that. And that her people got wind of what a lot of us been saying, a lot of Black women been saying from California, and what a lot of Black people in general have been saying all around, who live in California, been saying how atrocious and how evil that woman is. Okay? You got to understand, just because you see women standing on them stage, let me tell you something. In order to get up there, you got to be a lion, not a gazelle. Excuse me, not a gazelle. Okay. And these women will eat their young that are up there, all of them. I don't care how good. I know a lot of brothers are posting stuff about Tulsi Gabbard. A lot of black men seem to always fall in love with non-black women, and I'm like, yeah, she's nice looking. I was really surprised she got up there with that white pantsuit. I don't know what was up with that. I mean, I thought she was going to the club. Okay. And she kind of act like she kind of like, I know I look good, well, you can't be president and be up there primping and be up there like, girl, I'm the finest chick up here. What y'all talking about? Kamala Harris, you kind of old. Okay. She a decent looking chick, but she don't deserve all that. You know what I'm saying? And I keep telling guys that, women don't belong in the White House as president. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna go back to the debate in a minute. The reason why women don't need to be president of these United States is because women are going to push legislation. Now think about it. If Kamala Marcella Harris, let's just say hypothetical, we know they ain't gonna get past the primary, but let's just hypothesize, as we social scientists like to do. Let's say Kamala Harris or Tulsi Gabbard won the election and beat Donald Trump. What is their platform going to be? See, let's get off of subjective, this being subjective, looking to like that person. That's because we get that bad. We love to like somebody. It ain't about liking anybody personally because you don't know that person personally. Now, in your family, you might use that kind of strategy, but outside the house, you need to be about business. I'm about business. Okay? I might look like how Tulsi Gabbard looks, but I don't want her for a president. I think she might be a good congresswoman for her state of Hawaii. I mean, I've heard some good things about her as far, from some of the bros that live in Hawaii. That's great. That's great. That's wonderful. But still, what are you gonna do for me? I don't let me have to quote Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? And what do you plan to do? And we all need to have that objective mindset. Okay? We have to have that mindset. If we do not have that mindset, what are we doing? I don't care about how good somebody look. That ain't why I want that person for president. That may be why I want that person, to be on top of my Posturepedic. Okay? And that's fine for that activity. But when it comes to taking care of business, it don't matter if I don't like you. I don't like Trump. But I like the fact that he's building that wall. Okay? Love it. Yeah. And it's going to be a beautiful wall. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fly out to Cali. I'm going to drive all the way down to the border. And I'm going to take a picture right there at that wall. And then I'm going to stick my head through and be like, hey, Sancho, Maria, hey, y'all want to come through? Hold up. Let me bend the fence wide enough so you can slip through. Come on. Sorry. Guess you got to have to go through the border. You digs? But she went after her record. And I thought that was a great strategy. They were getting nasty. They were getting buck nasty, which is what they need to do. but still it looked more like a popularity contest than it was people running for president. None of these people look presidential. Gillibrand, Gabbard, Biden, Harris, Cory Booker was just so weak. Cory Booker is just the most bland, mediocre, milquetoast black man I've ever seen in my life. He's the most pseudo black man I've ever seen in my life. That's why black folks don't support Cory Booker, Cory Booty Booker. Don't nobody support him because he's a phony. You can talk to him for 5 minutes and you can tell that he's a phony. Okay, he's the consummate phony. You digs? Anyway, Miss Nicole, hey. Anyway, the cannibalism, the political cannibalism that you witnessed tonight is indicative. Let me give you a quick overview and I'm gonna get specific. The consensus of what we saw last night was total political cannibalism. That shows you how the Democratic Party is in disarray. Okay? It's in total disarray. And they are in trouble. Now, what happened last night might have been good entertainment. I wish I'd have watched it. I messed around and watched something else. I was watching my DVR shows. Okay? Because my show Yellowstone with Kevin Costner, I got to finish watching that tonight. I had about 4 episodes stacked up. So I love it when I have 2 or 3 episodes stacked up. That means I get a chance to see what's going to pop off the next week. Hey, y'all watch that show with Aldous Hodge and Kevin Bacon. Is that Showtime? Is that on Showtime? City on the Hill? Man, that's a good show. That show is dope. Y'all should check that out. City on the Hill. Aldous Hodge, the brother that was on Leverage. And he was on that movie Straight Outta Compton playing MC Ren. Yeah, he's a good actor. It's a good show. It really is. Kevin Bacon's off the chain in this show. Oh man, it's about Boston and dealing with that. I can't believe black folks live in Boston, man. It's so racist there. God, it's racist. Anyway, that's a good show. Y'all ought to check it out. Yeah, Snowfall. Y'all check out Snowfall on FX. Yeah, that's my show too. Yeah, I gotta watch that. I got 2 or 3 episodes of that stacked up. I'll be going out of town almost every weekend. So till it get cold, man. It get cold. I ain't going nowhere. So maybe up to Twin Cities and maybe over to Des Moines to see what's what over there. Anyway, Kamala Harris's record, as you all know, is horrible when it relates to black people and black women specifically. And black women are, my hat goes off to the sisters in Cali for stepping up and letting everybody know that they got railroaded through that truancy program when Miss Harris was the DA of San Francisco County. And then as California Attorney General, people had been supposed to have been released from prison, and she kept them in prison so they can get more money, so the corporations can get money out of the prisoners. See, what needs to happen, ladies and gentlemen, is that we don't need criminal justice reform. We don't need police reform. We don't need immigration reform. We don't need any of that. Let me tell you what we need. We need to gut. I'm saying this hypothetically. I know it's not a realistic goal, but I'm going to say it anyway. We need to gut the whole entire system because the system is rotten. The whole federal system and all the state systems are rotten. They're rotten. And they were founded on rottenness. Okay? The one thing I learned about taking computer science classes when I was in my MBA program, garbage in, one of my computer science professors who taught the class on programming with, setting up an IT network. He said, he's an engineer. He said, garbage in, garbage out. I don't care how big the mainframe is. I don't care if you got a 50,000 servers. I don't care if you all the way down to a laptop or all the way down to your smartphone. Okay. Garbage in, garbage out. So you can't sit here and make it like you don't know what's being put in there. Okay? It's garbage in and garbage out. And so here's the deal. This country was starting to have more conversation on reparations. Why? Because of us, the new black media, not MSNBC, not CNN, not Reverend Jackson, and not Reverend Sharpton. It was us. And now the Cobra folks and Roland Martin and all these other Johnny come latelys are popping up talking about, yeah, Al Sharpton, I heard him on the radio talking about, yeah, and we've been discussing this reparation thing for years. Come on, Al. Come on, Al. Have a honey bun and sit down. Okay? You need to stop. Please stop. You have never been on the front lines of black folks getting tangible reparations. You just up there getting the bag for yourself, which is why you're worth over $3 million. So you don't care if black folks starve because you getting your pockets padded by MSNBC and Urban View Radio. You digs? And whatever radio outlets, syndicate your show. Let's cut the crap. You digs? Anyway, whew, Lord have mercy. We know Kamala Harris isn't going to get past the primary, and neither is Klobuchar and Gillibrand and all these other wannabe presidential types. None of these folks are going to get, everybody knows, even if Biden is behind all the rest of them, they're still going to nominate him because he's the only one who has some form of incumbency. And he's a nationally, worldwide known figure. So why not go with him, even though he might not be the best choice as far as they are concerned? You digs? So that in and of itself shows you the disarray of the Democratic Party when you see them bringing up issues that the grassroots folks are already talking about, and they're trying to piggyback and steal those issues and try to act like, see, we want to give black people reparations. No, you don't. Just because you mention it don't mean you want to give it to us, and people keep, and I'm glad they're ignoring Marianne Williams, the Williamson that's talking about reparations for black folks. The reason why you can't take her seriously is because, first of all, she looks like, she acts and looks like a nut job. She is not presidential material. She has never held an office. She's too much of a hippie. And $100 billion in reparations won't buy enough underwear for black folks to last a year. We are owed much more than that. We're probably owed 100 trillion. Okay? Based on what is owed, the principal, and once we have accrued for interest, it's far more than that. Best thing for them to start doing is talking about having a what they should be talking about is a down payment of 2 or 3 trillion. That's what they need to be talking about. Okay, let's put this up, let's get this popping, and then we'll pay them the rest in time. Okay? See, I want you guys to be of the mindset that you can break this country if you stay on course and stay on code. We all don't have to be Democrats. We all don't have to be Republicans, but we all are black, and we need to look at each other as brothers and sisters, not the way we do, tongue in cheek, like, hey, brother, knowing good and well, you don't have no love for that person anyway. I'm talking about for real. Okay. And what I mean by that is our economic interests have to be the same. We can be unmonolithic or non-monolithic with a lot of other stuff. You might say, hey man, I like black women. This other guy might say, hey, I like Asian women. Okay, you disagree on what women you like, but what about economics? Oh, we agree on the same thing. Hey, what hurts your pocketbook hurts my pocketbook. See, that's what we got to get on code. And see, what a lot of us do is we look to other black folks. We look to you to like or dislike that person. So if you dislike that person, I don't even want to discuss that kind of stuff. I don't even want to discuss being on code. That's why we don't get anything done. Now, as you saw last night, if you didn't see the first night, if you saw if you were able to bear witness to that mockery of a debate, one thing you should have took away from it is that the Democratic Party is in disarray, is disorganized. They don't know what they're doing. They're trying. They didn't mention one time about black folks. Now, Tulsi Gabbard said something about Kamala Harris's prosecutorial record in her locking up black and brown people. She made a reference to that, but there was never any reference to the economic deprivation and our wasting away economically in this country. Nobody made mention of that. So if they're not mentioning our economic situation and our unique situation as we are extraordinary Americans, being that we built this country, our forefathers and mothers built this country for free, and now it's time for us to collect. Now, those of you, if you're scared to say anything because you don't want to get fired from your job, if you scared to stand up for yourself as a black man or a black woman, and all you want to do is lay back and be lazy and just get up and vote when November the 8th or 4th or whatever come around next year, you deserve no mercy. Whatever happens to you while Trump is in his second term, boy, you brought it on yourself because you failed to prepare yourself. You prepared. You failed to prepare yourself for what's ahead. And there's a lot ahead. There's a lot that's ahead here. Okay? We got a lot of stuff ahead of us. And I'm going to tell you right now, the way it's looking right now, boy, I'm telling you, there's going to be some, it's going to be some hurt folks. It's going to be some financially struggling folks. I'm telling you, no lie. Hey, I'm not going to tell you no lies on here on the Iceman Show podcast. Not going to do that. I'll tell you the truth. You might not want to hear it, but I wouldn't be the Iceman if I lied to you. You digs? Anyway, the political cannibalism that you saw going on last night was indicative of what they were doing last night, particularly when they were talking about Obama's record. That's what I really want to talk about. You notice how Obama's record was on trial last night. Okay? What does that tell you? You think, brothers and sisters, do you really think they got that from fellow media outlets? Huh? Do you really think they got that from fellow media outlets? That Obama's record is questionable at best? Think about that for a second. You haven't seen anybody outside of the Republican Party badmouth Obama's record. So what we are doing, the new black media, the grassroots people, they hear us. They hear us. And they hear what black people are saying all over the country about being totally ignored by the Obama administration. We are the most disenfranchised people in this country. We are the most economically deprived people in this country. You got illegals, people who are not even citizens of this country, coming over here getting free health care, free food, free housing, free cash assistance, and they're given jobs. And their children are given free scholarships to go to college. Okay? They're coming over here still getting up under DACA. Okay? Now, I don't want people to think that this is bash immigrants. This is a bash immigrant situation. It's not. I'm just looking out for my own race group, like everybody else. And one other thing I've been hearing on the radio and on TV is tribalism. Everybody is being tribal right now. When there's a perception, I learned this in economics. If there is a perception of a scarcity of resources, people start getting tribal. And the people who are slowly getting tribal are black people. We ain't where we need to be at all, but we're on our way. Because now black women are seeing, hey, we can't live in this country without these black men. Now Obama and them made us think we can, get a zaddy and and all this other kind of stuff, and they, gave us all the Obama phones and all the free welfare and everything else that we wanted. But Obama is no longer president. Now there's Trump in there. Now I got to either depend on start working with these black men, or I'm going to starve and be homeless. Because I'll tell you right now, the next thing to go is Section 8. They already done cut, 3 million people is a lot of people on SNAP. So if those people are getting ready to get kicked off, obviously most of them are Caucasian people, followed by Hispanics, American Hispanics, and illegals. All of those folks are going to get their throats cut. Okay. By the time Trump is done with his second term, Mike Pence will be running. Okay. And he will win. He win. We're getting ready to have probably 12 more years of Republicans. And I think it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Okay? Because that's going to make black folks realize we got to stop hating each other. We got to stop hating ourselves. We got to stop the self-hate, and we got to start loving ourselves. We got to start working with each other, and we got to start supporting black-owned businesses. Okay? The reason why I ask for donations on here is because I fundraise, but also I'm trying to teach some of these young guys, hey, be a part of something. I'm not asking for $20 every day. I'm asking for $3.99 here. I'm asking for $5 here. I'm asking for $10 here. You mean to tell me you throw away $30 on nothing? So please stop, acting like you ain't got no money. We have to start voting with our feet and our dollars. That's where our power is. Okay? Now we are in a position to force the Democratic Party to give up some tangibles. Right now, they're being resistant. They are being defiant, and they're being extremely stubborn, and that's fine. But they're going to lose. And you know what they say? You know what they say when you lose too many elections? When a certain party loses too many elections, that's a sign that they are out of touch. See, I tweeted Eric Holder today, and he's on his Twitter page talking about what did he say? He said something about I'm paraphrasing, something about defending Obama's legacy. And I replied to him. I said, "What legacy? What legacy are you referring to with President Obama? Oh, you talking about that legacy where Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, and Sandra Bland and some of these other folks were murdered under your tenure by these race soldiers posing as cops and other folks, and you didn't instruct the DOJ to prosecute these guys when clearly they committed a murder?" I said, "Oh, and you're talking about the legacy of allowing Detroit and Detroit to go bankrupt and the Flint water crisis? Oh, you talking about that legacy? Oh, you must be talking about the legacy where blue collar Americans continue to lose their jobs under your 8 years of being in the White House? You mean that and you promised them jobs? Oh, you talking about that legacy, huh?" I guarantee Eric Holder is going to block me. Okay? I guarantee he won't respond. Okay? Because that's too much truth for a phony pseudo black man can handle. You digs? You digs? But the Democrats are trying to do everything they can not to bring them tangibles. And that's okay. Because the next thing we're going to do, we're going to start boycotting. We're going to do just like we did with the Montgomery bus boycott. If you're not going to treat us right with these, if these corporations are not going to treat us right, then we're going to stop buying your products. First of all, what we're going to do is find an alternative before that. Then we're going to publicly admonish you, and then we're going to boycott you. And let me tell you something: the $1.3 trillion, the 97% that we spend every year in the economy, plus the extra $2 trillion in credit that we spend, I guarantee you take half of that out of the economy and it collapses. So while we don't have consumer power, because we don't collectively exercise our power like other groups do. You know, black folks, we got, you know, cats over here, the church, black church folk, they don't want to have nothing to do with these secular folks. You got secular folks that's like, you know, I don't want to deal with them church people because they're delusional and they over there worshiping a white Jesus. So I ain't trying to deal with them. Then you got the thugs. Then you got the black LGBT people. Then you got, you know, blue collar brothers, white collar brothers. And you got all these different factions of black people, and we're all on different, we're all over the place. Okay, we're all over the place. We could be all over the place with our ideologies and lifestyles and whatnot. What we can't be all over the place with, ladies and gentlemen, is the economics, because money drives this country. Without money, all of us would be outside in the elements. You would not be watching me if you didn't have some economics popping off over there, and neither would I. You digs? They are attacking Obama's record, and they are attacking Obama's record because his record is non-existent. Yes, he did little things here, little things over there. He did a little stuff for the veterans, but none of that stuff was major enough for that to be part of his doctrine. You understand what I'm saying? To make that a legacy issue. Okay, you got Obama. I mean, you got bin Laden. So what? Would you spend $2 or $3 million trying to find him? You wasted that much federal money, and Nancy Pelosi and all of these other folks always railing on Trump and all of it, talking about how bad a president Trump is. Yet every time they have a defense, every time they have a budget, they got to put a budget together. The Defense Department gets an extra 50 or 60, 70 billion dollars. And Nancy Pelosi and Jim Clyburn and all these Democrats vote for that stuff. Every last one of them. So you can't believe nothing they say. And I don't care about these chicks they call them the 4 horsemen. Hey, hold up, y'all. I got to get my cord. Hold on. Yeah, let's get this plugged in for this thing cut off. Should have brought this cord down here originally, but I was just like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't feel like bringing all that stuff down here. Anyway, what up, Joel Harris? Glad you joined us. You must be new to the Iceman Show family. Hey, email. Here, hey, this is the official Iceman Show email. Email me so you can be on my email list. If there's any other people in the chat room who are new subscribers, email me to that email address, and I will put you on the email list so you know when we do what we do. You digs? Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of people don't have it. Anyway, what's this thing not showing up? And Facebook, that's the official Iceman Show podcast. Email me, and that way we can put you on email list, and you can get emails from us. Okay. But anyway, well, thanks for joining us, brother. So anyway, hold on for a second. Hold on. Somebody in my garage. Hold on. Oh, he over there. I was like, man, dude, sound like he in my garage. People just moved in to the house across the alley there. Anyway, we have a grand opportunity, Black people. We have a grand opportunity to shape history, political history, this time around. Okay? That's very important. And I'm going to tell you why it's important. It's important because these people, in their minds, these political strategists, you have to understand, in their mind, historically speaking, Black people are never consistent on anything. If somebody gets shot and everybody comes out the house and they're like, oh, they shot, Mr. Johnson's son, they shot him dead in the street. Everybody's outraged. Everybody's out there upset. These people know that a week from now, people won't even be talking about it because Black folks are not consistent when it comes to anything other than something easy like voting. Okay? If the Democratic Party put an orangutan up there and said that orangutan is going to replace Joe Biden as the Democratic nominee, some of y'all would still vote for that orangutan. You see where I'm going with this? Just because that's the Democratic nominee. That's how the Democratic Party that's what they think of you. That's what they think of you as a voting Democrat. They're like, oh man, we ain't got to do nothing to get them. They're going to vote anyway. They ain't got no choice. Oh, they Black people, we got them. I was looking at Bill Maher's show the other day, and he straight up said, if we don't get the African-American vote, we're going to lose. He said it. He straight up said it. If we don't get the African-American vote in general and the African-American female vote specifically, we are going to lose. See, they don't want to come right out and say that black men ain't gonna vote, because a lot of brothers ain't voting, old and young. All brothers ain't coons. Okay, all brothers ain't mush mouth coons. I've talked to a couple of brothers my age and older. It's like, man, I ain't voting for Biden. I'm gonna sit this one out. I voted for Obama, and what he do for us? He ain't do nothing for us. Trump wiped out Obama's legacy in T-minus 1 or 2 days. He wiped out his legacy. That show you what kind of legacy Obama had. All Obama's legacy was giving LGBT people more resources than they deserved, giving Caucasian people more benefits than they deserve, and then totally ignoring us. Okay? That's why his legacy is non-existent. Okay? Even Bush has even George W. Bush has a legacy. Might not be a good one, but at least he's got a legacy. Obama has no legacy, and he did 8 years in the White House. How can you not have a legacy unless you were trying not to have a legacy? Which is what I think they were having. Well, he got bin Laden. So what? Did that put any money in your pocket, bruh? Are you better off economically because bin Laden is dead? Come on, man. We got to get real, man. Black folks, we got to stop getting played. We are the chick at the club that gets picked up by any dude that's spitting at her. And they be able to take us home and get them draws. We are that chick at the club. When are we gonna stop being the chick at the club that give up the draws, man? Don't you get tired of getting ignored? And come on, and brothers and sisters, and let me talk to the white collar brothers and sisters for a second. Yeah, you got your little college degree. Yeah, you might have a graduate degree like I do, or I got a couple masters, but still that stuff doesn't do anything for me because I'm a black man in America. I had to go and start doing my own thing in order to earn money, because working in these Caucasian-owned corporations, they either offered me a management job that I knew I wasn't going to want to be in forever, or they didn't want to pay me the kind of money I deserve to be paid. You digs? So the Democratic Party is getting it, y'all. Oh, they getting it. I can assure you that they are fully aware of people like me. Okay? They are fully aware that we are talking about what they are not doing. Again, I could care less about criminal justice reform, police reform, immigration reform, any other reform they're talking about. I could care less. That's not putting any money in my pocket. Okay? I did a live stream about 5 or 6 months ago on what we need to do to change how the police interact with us. That has to be done at every state level. That has to be done with the legislature and the governor of those respective states. It's called Peace Officer Standards Training. They are the state level people who certify the police academies and the training. So all they got to do is say, hey, they go back to where how they used to train police officers. Look, if the threat if the threat if the threat has been neutralized, and what I mean by neutralized, I don't mean shooting them, because that could mean that. If the threat is gone or minimalized, like say if the guy's got a knife and the cop's got his gun out and he's like, hey man, drop the knife. Okay, he's using his brain. Hey man, drop the knife. If the guy does not drop the knife, he can legally smoke him because he had a weapon, even if he was 20 feet away. Because all the cop has to say is, I fear for my life. He ran at me, even though the evidence says something else. You see how that works? Or you might say, if you're the cop, you say, hey man, drop the knife. And then he starts running at you. Now that's legal for him to use lethal force to lay you down because you had a knife. Even if it was a butter knife, you still do damage with a butter knife. Now, if you have a knife and I pull my weapon, my service weapon, and you run in that direction and I start chasing you and you drop the knife on the ground and I'm running after you, and after about 30 or 40 feet, I'm huffing and puffing, and then I turn around and shoot you in the back after you done dropped the knife and ran 150 feet. Is that justified? No, that's all. Look, that is already in police procedure. That's how I got trained. If the threat is gone, then you and the suspect is fleeing the scene, then you chase him in your police cruiser, or you run after him because you're supposed to be in shape. And most of these cops, as you know, around the country are not in shape. They couldn't run 2 inches, let alone 5 feet, without huffing and puffing. That's why they get mad and start shooting, because they get angry when you run from them. So when you drive, because I saw this police officer, he had his cam on his uniform. There was his brother, and it was in South Minneapolis. Guy had a gun and he was talking to this lady. He was talking to a lady, and he wasn't robbing the lady. The lady knew him, but I guess somebody else called the police on him, and he started running. He dropped the gun after he ran about 10 feet. He dropped the gun in the middle of the street, and then he cut down an alley this way and running up the alley. He was running. He was looking back and running, and the old fat cop that, whose camera was on, he was running with his gun out like this. And he was like, stop. And then he stopped and went pop, 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 and killed the guy. Y'all, I think I posted that on my Facebook page. That was another brother that got killed. That happened 2 years ago. They didn't make the nationwide news. And the cops were not charged with anything because they killed a black man, and your life ain't worth anything. That's their thinking, not mine. Now, had that been a white person, that cop would be investigated. Okay? Cops are trained, if the threat is over, then you de-escalate the situation as best you can. You pursue them on foot, or you pursue them in your police cruiser. Okay? That's already on the books. But if new procedure has to be developed and implemented, that has to be done at the discretion of the legislature, the post people, and the governor. And that's where that needs to be taken care of. Now, at the federal level, You know, I don't even know why these candidates were talking about them doing something about law enforcement at the federal level. The only people they can change things for is the DOJ, is the federal agents that report to the DOJ and other agencies. Okay. The political cannibalism that you saw last night, where they started attacking Obama's record, that had me laughing. And I'll tell you why that had me laughing. That had me laughing because that told me that your boy Obama's legacy isn't as fly and intact as people thought it was. Okay, they thought his legacy was foolproof. They are I think that means they are subscribers. Oh no, they're moderators. Well, Timothy Warren, you will never get a wrench, because I will never make you a moderator. And just in defense of Mr. Hernandez and Timmy Diamonds, it's actually Fernandez. I'm trying not to cuss tonight because I would go in on this guy, but I'm not gonna do that. Okay, but I'm just gonna say this to you, that they don't kiss my ass. Nobody on this show is a psychophant. Okay, but you sound like a jealous hater who is tired of sleeping on a racing car bed in your grandmama's attic. Okay, and for that, I'm gonna block you. How about that? Huh? How about that, dude? You like that? How you like that? There you go. Enjoy. Yeah, we ain't gonna get hood tonight. I would definitely like to, but we ain't gonna get hood tonight. No, sir. No, we ain't gonna do that. We gonna keep it classy, like Tiffany Haddish. Okay. You digs? Tangible reparations 2020 or cut that check. Cut the check. Cut the check. They gotta break us off, fellas. Okay. The ancestors did too much free work. They're gonna have to cut them a check. You digs? And so they started practicing political cannibalism because they have no platform. They have no real national platform. But even going so far as saying that not only do they not have a platform individually that's worth mentioning, the party itself has nothing to offer, because the main constituents, the main people that they should be trying to reach, they are totally ignoring us, except for when they want us to vote for them. Oh, they want your vote. It's just like being with a woman. She's like, well, I'm not going to tell the Iceman what I really want from him, but what I really want from him is him to pump me up with a couple of kids so I can go over to child support court and get child support for 18 years. But I didn't realize that that woman was that foul, and that's what she was really trying to get out of me. You see, that's what they're doing to us. They say, oh, we want your vote, black folks, but you get nothing. We're giving something to illegal aliens, people breaking into the country. We're giving something to LGBT people. We're giving equality benefits to Caucasian women. But we're going to use these women of color to make it look like we're offering something. And in the end, they get nothing. We'll get the bag, they get nothing. So we have to be careful, black folks. We have to be careful when we run out here supporting everything the Democrats are talking about doing. Because I think a lot of you guys are under the impression that anybody that's considered to be a Democrat is a come up. And like I said, after they do their term in Congress, after they get out of the White House, you look around, they ain't done nothing for you. If you can't see out of your front door and behind your front door changes that an administration is trying to help Main Street, then they not helping you, because you should see those changes. We waste billions of dollars on a defense budget to fight wars all over the world so that corporate America can come in and reap all the benefits from those raw materials. And yet they won't go and overhaul the interstate highway system. The interstate highway system needs almost a total overhaul. Okay? It needs almost a total overhaul, not just, a stretch of, 15 miles new road. No, there's interstate highways that need to be gutted. And the states that those highways are running through, they've even reported to the Department of Transportation, look, man, we need to fix this. Oh, we're just going to fix what we have to fix right now. And the rest of that, whatever. That's their attitude. Until a bridge falls and people die, like they did in Minnesota or in Fort Smith, Arkansas, about 12, 13 years ago. When people are driving down the highway, they expect to be safe, not fall into fall off a bridge and end up whitewater rafting in their car and ending up drowning. That's not what they signed on for when they drove down the highway. And our taxes are supposed to be fixing these roads and bridges, and they're not doing it. And Trump has talked about that I don't know how many times, but they don't. But both the Democrats and the Republicans don't want to do it because they know it's going to cost trillions of dollars that they're holding on to. Okay? They're full of crap. Every year, states receive billions of dollars, not equally, because, some states are bigger than others. Some states have more roads. But the states are given, these states are given billions of dollars for maintenance for their roads. Okay? There is no excuse. And see, what it does is the state gives the money to the county and the county gives the money to the city. Okay? Or sometimes the city will get the money directly from the state, or sometimes the city or the county will get the money directly from the federal government. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we black folks, we got to stop being politically gullible and politically naive. The game is being played a totally different way, and you're not playing it. If the only thing you can contribute to an election is just blindly voting for the Democratic candidate, whether their politics match up with your family or not, that whole way of voting has to go. We don't have to vote. It's okay if you don't vote. If you don't want to vote for Biden, don't let your family beat you up because you decide to sit this one out. What's wrong with you sitting it out? You got people sitting up here ending friendships with family and friends over Trump. And I'm just like, are you serious? Well, then that wasn't a real friend or a real family member. If they gonna sit up there and get mad at you because you said you like some of the stuff Trump be doing. Like I said, the only people who are mad at Trump are people who want to continue to be lazy, naive, and gullible. Those are the people who are mad at Trump, because the people who are used to hustling and grinding and getting theirs, people like me and some of you, we ain't worried about Trump. I don't care who's in the White House, because that means, let me tell you something, it don't matter who's in the White House. Black folks gonna always be in the doghouse. You digs? Don't matter who's president. We just had a black president for 8 years. He did nothing for us but sing Al Green songs. If I want to hear a good Al Green song, I go turn on my iPad. I don't want to hear his no singing behind. Okay? We have to have a new strategy, ladies and gentlemen. And that strategy has to be no tangible resources for ADOS blacks, foundational black people, or we don't vote. It's simple as that. And let me tell you something, you ain't gonna lose nothing sitting this election out. Don't let people beat up on you and talk crazy to you about deciding that you may not vote, because voting for anybody that's Democrat shows how ridiculous you are, shows how silly you are, and show how gullible and naive you are. You digs? So let's show some intelligence and some discipline, and sit these elections out if these people aren't speaking directly to us. I understand if they're a president, they got to be everybody's president. But let me tell you something. I don't have a problem with that. What I don't like is while they're everybody's president, they decide that they're going to totally ignore black people, but not ignore everybody else. That's the problem. They ignore us, but yet they want our votes. So this time we ain't going to give it to them. And if we don't get tangible reparations for this particular 2020 election, then the next phase of our strategy is going to be boycotting, exposing racist companies who don't do right by black people, that have no corporate executives who are black. And I'm not talking about tokens. I'm not talking about coons and mammies. I'm talking about real black men and women. You digs? Too many of you guys are scared of what your family gonna think. By the way, if you want to donate, go over to asktheiceman.com. scroll down to the donate button and donate there. Also, you can donate for free via the Cash App. My Cash App ID is $ the Iceman 1906. Just asking for $5 tonight because it's late, and that's what I usually do on a Thursday. Okay, let's get them donations up. If you haven't donated last night, donate tonight. Okay, donate tonight. Let's get it cracking. Oh yeah, the old civil rights guard. Yeah, they ain't voting for nobody but Biden. They don't never sit. My dad don't never sit out elections. He'll vote for anybody you stick in front of him. Okay, and that's why Bill Clinton and the Obamas, all these people were able to get elected because of baby boomers who have no backbone. Okay, baby boomers who, in my opinion, are the reason why we continue to be in the economic condition we're in right now, because all, black men like my dad is like, hey, I got mine, you get yours. Instead of, hey, let's everybody get money together. We can do more as a group than as individuals. Okay, my dad is finding that out the hard way right now. Okay, I wish I could tell y'all the shenanigans that he done got himself into. Now he by himself, and instead of getting some mental health assistance, he out here, down south, being a burden on my uncle. Okay, he down there being a burden on him instead of going to get a psychotherapist so he can work through his issues, because some of the things he's doing is embarrassing. See, because I talked to him last week and I said, hey man, when you gonna get a psychiatrist, man, you need to get help, man. What you doing ain't normal. Oh yeah, I checked in there. Let's go get this guy. So he just go sit down there at your brother's house, wasting time. Knowing him, he probably down there trying to get a third wife to run him in the ground. Simps, these old simps, they don't never give up the simp. They don't never give up the simping game. That's all they know. But speaking of simps, the Democratic Party have nothing to offer. And all the individual, if you listen to some of these ridiculous, stupid policies that some of these candidates was talking about, like Governor Inslee from my former state of Washington State. He's a joke. He's up there talking about everything climate change. Black folks don't care nothing about no climate change. Why would you care about climate change and you can't pay your bills? You can't keep your lights on. Do you really think about climate change when your son needs football cleats? Huh? And you got to find the money for your football cleats? Huh? Do you care about police reform and criminal justice reform when you ain't a criminal? Huh? You care about criminal justice reform and prison reform if you can't put food on the table? Huh? The only people who should be excited for criminal justice reform and prison reform are convicts who plan on going back behind that wall in that gated community. Those are the only guys who should be happy about criminal justice and police reform. All the rest of us are insulted or should be insulted. Some of you guys are, I hope they do get criminal justice reform, police reform. Brother, you can't pay your bills and you worried about police reform? Really? You worried about climate change? You worried about immigration reform? And those people are going to come over here and replace you at your job? Do you, black man, think? See, I can't really, I try to talk to these black women, but a lot of black women don't want to listen. Black women don't want to listen to no black man because you don't even know who your father is. Most of you don't know who your father is. And most of you who do know your father, you ain't got no relationship with him because of your damn mama. But that's a show topic for another day. So you don't, a lot of these black women don't want to hear nothing come out of no black man's mouth, especially a black man like me, because they know they don't like black men. Okay. Anyway, the political cannibalism has already started, and they're coming after Obama because it's much easier to attack Obama because his legacy and his record sucks. He hasn't done anything. It's weak. His legacy is ultra weak. If it exists at all. And they know that. So that's why they started attacking it. Listen to what I'm saying to you. That's why they attacked Obama's record, because Obama's record is darn near non-existent. Because Obama wasn't concerned with making any real changes. He had the nerve to run on the hope and change starts with you platform, and then he got up there and played everybody. And so what you have to understand, the reason why so many Caucasian middle of the road Democrats and others voted for Trump this time was because when Obama went all the way through the Rust Belt telling all these people he's going to bring their jobs back, and all he did was help jobs leave the America. You understand me? And just like he said in one of his speeches, he said, I'm not going to stop corporations moving overseas. He said that in a speech. I was watching it. Okay. Because back then I was still, every now and then I'd listen to him because he's a halfway decent speaker. But after his first term, I didn't want to hear nothing he had to say. That's why I went ahead and replied to a tweet from Eric Holder. I was like, Obama's legacy? What legacy? Building on legacy? What legacy? You mean the DOJ not prosecuting Darren Wilson for shooting Michael Brown? You talk about that? You talking about the DOJ not prosecuting George Zimmerman after he murdered Trayvon Martin? Is that the legacy you talking about? You talk about the legacy where Detroit, the city of Detroit, went bankrupt and they didn't get any federal assistance when all they needed was a couple $2 billion? That's Obama's legacy. Okay. That's what I said. Okay. If that's his legacy, okay. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. I hope he responds, but I guarantee he's going to block me. I guarantee he's going to block me. Because a lot of these little cowards, they can't take no criticism, especially no real criticism. See, they can take the criticism they get in the media because some people only going to say so much. But those of us who are not connected to these corporate media giants, we can say what we want to say. And so, I've heard Tariq say how all these public figures block him because he does the same thing. He goes and say, you start talking about some, putting information out there that's questionable. Hey, somebody going to check you on it. And that's what I did with Eric Holder. So I hope he responds. Anyway, The political cannibalism that you saw last night was unheard of. Normally, they do not attack a former president, especially one that just got out of office. They normally don't do that, but that shows the level of disrespect that they have for Obama. I don't know if they would have did that to Clinton. I'm not going to sit here and say it's a black thing, but I do find it interesting how they are criticizing Obama's legacy and uh, criticizing any candidate that want to ride the coattail of Obama's legacy. So as you can see, there is major problems when you have to start practicing political cannibalism on your fellow candidates and on the record of a candidate from from a president who belongs to your party. That's unheard of. Normally they ain't that disrespectful. You see how disrespectful they was to each other. So that shows the Democrats are in total disarray. And there is nothing that they can say or do that would convince me otherwise. Okay? There's nothing that they could convince me otherwise. That none of them have anything to say, none of them have anything to offer, unless they start talking about tangible reparations. And if they are not going to respect us enough to even sit down with the right people, not handpick people that they want to talk to, real folks, the grassroots folks that are in the struggle, if they don't want to talk to us, then they have nothing to say. Because for you to go get the N Cobra guy, or you get Van Jones, all them old crying fools they got on CNN, I think you have to cry. When you audition to be on CNN, you have to, if you black, you have to audition by crying. And if you cry real ugly, like you cry like that on cue, they'll put you on CNN. Okay? So those of you who can cry real good, CNN got a job for you, player. Right. The Democrats, it's not that the Democrats need the black vote. The Democrats require the black vote to win. Okay? Look, I've told y'all this all this year, all last year, and even before that. What did I tell y'all? Trump gonna do a second term, and he's gonna start kicking them fools off of welfare and SNAP. I said that, and look what he's doing. He's taking his time because he's got to get that army of lawyers to see if they can do it, and then he can do it. And having Trump, and I've been saying this for years. Trump is a blessing to black people. And if you know what I'm talking about, you can see the benefits. He's trying to stop up that border. He's trying to keep them illegal immigrants out of our country. He's putting them tariffs on China. So now China's losing billions of dollars every week. Okay, he know what he's doing. See, a lot of black folks don't have a mindset to try to figure out whatever Trump is doing besides him tweeting racist stuff. See, black folks pay attention to nonsense like that, like a schoolyard idiot. Okay. That's how we do. You're paying attention to racist tweets, but you're not paying attention to everything else he's doing. And with those tariffs, them tariffs are not hurting us. Those tariffs are actually helping us, because what he's trying to force these American companies in China to do is move back over here and bring those jobs back. Now, it takes years for that to happen. That's not something that's going to immediately work, people. Don't just because he put tariffs on them right this minute that we're going to see the effect of the benefit of it in 6 months. No, it's going to take years for us to see the benefit. Because, you have to understand, these American companies been running wild. Little child running wild. Man, I should put on some Curtis Mayfield. I got that Superfly soundtrack. I put that on every now and then. Oh, Juice is on. Okay. Outsourcing got real bad the last 20 years. It's been happening ever since the 60s. But the mass exodus of a lot of major corporations okay, I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's a new day, and we better start acting like it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I talked about this last night. There is what they call it? There is a study that Black Entertainment Magazine put out. You know what it said? By 2050, Black people will have a collective net worth of 0. We are already in the same position that Jewish people were in Nazi Germany. And see, you saw how easy it was to wipe them out, okay? As well as other innocent people. Once you cut off people economically, you can do anything they want. You can do whatever you want to them. That's what they're doing to Black people. Mass incarceration, who gets caught up in that? We do. Stop and frisk, who gets caught up in that? We do. Illegal searches of your vehicle in your home, who's affected mostly by that? We are. SBA only loans out 1.7% of their $30 billion budget to Black-owned entrepreneurs. That affects us directly. Those of us who are entrepreneurs. We are least likely to be loaned, given a commercial loan to build anything. We're least likely to be given a commercial loan by a Black or white bank. Did you know that? Black banks like One United loan 80% of their commercial and personal loans to Caucasian-owned businesses and Caucasians individually. I know y'all don't want to hear this, but it is what it is. Black banks have always run that hustle. All they want is your deposit money, and then you go in there and try to fill out an application to get a credit card, and they deny you. But yet they got your money sitting in their account. I got some money sitting over here in this one bank, and it's not doing anything for me. They changed policies and started playing games. So I'm gonna call tomorrow and get that money transferred to another account because I ain't getting nothing out of them. All they doing is enjoying my money, and I ain't getting nothing out of it. You see how that works? But I know I got to make a move, and I will make that move. You digs? But Main Street, us, the people, we keep getting played by the Democrats, and they owe us so much money because we have put their presidents in the White House. We put Obama in the White House. We put Clinton in there. We put before him, we put Jimmy Carter in there. And we are worse off now after 8 years of Obama than we were before he got in there. Because in a country like this, time moves at the speed of light. So it's easy for something to break down and you need money to fix it. Your water heater is going to go out sooner or later. Your stove's going to go out sooner or later. Your refrigerator is going to go out sooner or later. Your brakes on your car are going to go out sooner or later. Your shocks are going to go out if you keep your car longer than 10 years. These are things that are going to go out. Why? Because that's how things break. Things erode over time. You're gonna have to get a roof on your house sooner or later. And if you don't know how to fix it yourself, and at least patch it up like my dad was able to do, you're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna be paying somebody. You're gonna be paying Sancho or somebody $7,000 to $8,000 to fix your roof. You digs? So let's get real, man. I know a lot of cats, you want to hear something fluffy and you want to hear something that's going to make you laugh. You want to hear something that is going to make you want to get up and party and do this and do that. And, hey, there's a time and place for that. Come join us on Saturday at the Player Circle podcast. We'll be clowning around. We're gonna get some business done still, but we're gonna be clowning because that's the time to clown. You digs? Dig it. Okay. So, but I'm telling you, so the point that I'm trying to make to you is you definitely need to question whether you really want to sit up here and vote for Biden or not. Because I'm gonna tell you what the ticket gonna be. The ticket's gonna be Biden O'Rourke or Biden and Warren. If he picks Warren, he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose even more. If he picks O'Rourke, he's got a better chance. He better not pick Julian Castro. Somebody had a nerve to call him a brother. I think it was Clay Kane. I was listening to his show. He's talking about Hispanic, our Hispanic brother. He ain't none of my brother. Okay? Because I guarantee he ain't calling you his brother. He might say bro, but that's like saying, hey, Mac, or hey, buddy. Hey, fella. You digs? So please analyze these people and do your research on these people, because again, and like I said, I'm not a sexist, but I don't want a woman president because you see how nasty Nancy Pelosi is, and you see how although domestic violence bills and equality bills and all this, free health care for immigrants, for illegal immigrants who ain't citizens of this country, as you can see, the Speaker of the House, her priorities are not us, are never us. And how long you gonna sit there and continue to be dumped on and lied to? Huh? I think some of y'all must like to get lied to. Maybe you like to be abused. I don't. I will nip it in the bud if you try to abuse me. Ask my family. There's a lot of my family I don't talk to anymore. And I don't give a damn if I ever talk to them again, because they ain't worth crap. They ain't worth the crap on the ground. You dig? But let me say this to you. You have the opportunity to get something out of this if you're willing to do the work. You're doing the objective work. Hopefully, some of you are up for the downstroke. Some of you baby boomers, you just gonna toe the line, no matter what kind of evidence we provide to you that the Democratic Party don't care nothing about you, has never cared anything about you, and all they want is your vote. Some of y'all will still sit there and be like, I'm still gonna vote. Forget him. Shoot. Go ahead. But don't sit here on Facebook and complain about what the Democrats are not doing for you, and why we got to deal with 4 more years of Trump and then possibly 4 years of Pence. And if you think Trump is bad, if you think Trump is bad, wait till you see that guy exposed. You know who Pence is? Pence is another Dick Cheney. That's what he is. He's a shadow figure. Dick Cheney was running that White House. He had offices all over the place. He had offices in the DOD. He had in the Pentagon. He had offices in the Congress. He had his office at the White House, and then he had another office in somewhere on the other side of the White House. So as you can see, that dude wasn't playing. Okay, he was running that White House while Bush was just the figurehead. And some of that stuff that Trump is doing, Pence is telling him what to do, or guiding him on certain things, because he has, he's been in Congress. He was in Congress for 20-some years. He was a congressman. Then he became, I think, a governor of Indiana, and then from there, I think he went back to being a congressman, I think, or a senator, and then old dude picked him for his VP. But the political cannibalism that you saw last night is indicative of a party in disarray. And moreover, a party that has no strategy, no real strategy, other than trying to get the moderate, casual, racist white vote. That's what they're going after right now. But see, those guys are going to vote for Trump. You have to understand, 40% of the voters are going to vote for Republicans regardless. The other 40% of the voters are going to vote for a Democrat, no matter who they stick up there, even a gorilla. And then there's that 20% that's undecided, who's on the fence. And if you are talking about these middle of the road Democrats, especially Democrats that are in Republican areas or Republican states, if they're already sitting on the fence, and especially if they're Caucasian male and female, they're going to vote for Trump. And no matter what he says, no matter how many vaginas he grabs, he is going to get the Caucasian vote. Why? Because they don't care about racism. All they care about is their selfish individual agenda that benefits them. You dig? The only time we benefit from programs is when they want to start killing people or locking people up. Then it's like black folks are all in. We're all in then. Okay? When they need some bodies to put in prison, here they come looking for us. Hey, you broke the law. You got a gun in the car. Next thing you know, here you going to, San Quentin or Folsom or Huntsville. Okay? Or Attica. It's crazy, man. It really is. If you didn't see anything last night, what you saw was a disorganized Democratic Party. And none of the candidates that were up there, including Biden, said anything directly about economics, inner city problems, and economic problems that affect specifically Black people based on historic Jim Crow and the effects of white supremacy and slavery. They want to act like if they're ignoring us and they're not speaking to our needs economically, because that's the only one that counts. Remember, if you're going to build a house, you got to build a foundation first, right? So the foundation is going to be what? Economics. The next level of the house is going to be politics. And then the next level on top of that is social order. Economics drive those two upper floors. If you don't have that, you will be powerless like Black people in America. Black people are powerless. That's why when they pull these insurgency attacks, when they kill Black people, especially when police kill Black people, they're sending you a message. We can't mass kill y'all. We'll just kill, a couple of people at a time to show you we mean business. If you don't believe me, do the research. But I'm not voting for Biden. I'm not voting. And I want Trump to win because I want all these people who've been running their mouth during the Obama administration to be eating crow. Because there's no more Obama phones. There's no more utility credits. There's no more, the HUD vouchers are going to be far and few, and the application process is going to be far more difficult than it used to be. So you can't just haul off just because you're a single mom and you got a bunch of kids. Y'all got to put us up somewhere. No, we ain't got to put you nowhere. You're going to go sleep on somebody's floor, or you're going to be in a women's shelter. That's what we're going to do for you. Okay? We ain't going to let people ride the welfare rolls for the rest of their lives. You're going to have to get up off of that. And I don't blame them for throwing lazy people off of it. You got all this open land all around your neighborhood where you up here talking about you ain't got nothing to eat. Well, why don't you throw some seeds in the ground and start planting something? I guarantee the people that own the land ain't gonna come around there and pull up them weed, pull up the cabbage or whatever it is you growing over there. They ain't gonna do nothing because they ain't paying no attention to the land. That's why ain't no building on it. So what I would do if I had an open land like that, I would go over there, start planting black-eyed peas. I go over there, start planting. What do I like to? I ain't gonna say squash. Maybe tomatoes or tomatoes. You really have to maintain tomatoes. Just there's certain type of caterpillars that like to eat them. Anyway, because we used to grow corn. I used to grow black-eyed peas, and I used to eat them. I fill my bag up. My mom be like, "Where you get them black-eyed peas from?" I'm like, "Oh, from the yard." She was like, "Where you growing them at?" I said, way back there in the back of the yard." Because they grow, black-eyed peas grow fast. You throw two of them suckers in the ground about 4 inches deep. Next thing you know, you got a little plant coming out the ground in about a week, probably less than that. You still watering it. I was thinking about putting a little something out here, but I got to see first because people be letting their dogs all on the grass around on the other side of my garage. I got a little lawn right over here. But I ain't gonna put nothing over there because if I do that, I'll probably just put some. I'm just gonna leave that blank because I don't know. I might not be able to do that with the association. Anyway, y'all saw what happened last night, man. Please don't just haul off and vote for the heck of it. Let me tell you something, black folks. We're gonna be bad off if we vote. We're gonna be bad off if we don't, because all these people, all these politicians are compromised. They don't care anything about you or me. All they care, they talk about what they care about: LGBT, immigration reform, women's rights, equality rights, and equality for homos. That's all you hear coming out their mouth. You shouldn't be so short-sighted and insecure to not vote, because you don't vote for just something. You don't vote like, okay, I'd rather have something rather than nothing. That's not the same. You don't apply that ideology to that, bruh. No, that's not going to work. If somebody is on the ticket that you don't like, you don't vote, because they ain't going to do anything for you anyway. So the time has come for black folks to start playing and start acting like perpetual children and go ahead and get this thing popping. To start demanding reparations. Don't just protest. Let your voice be heard. Send a letter to your congressman. Send a letter to Trump. Be active. Be active in trying to get these tangible reparations. Otherwise, you're just faking the funk. Because complaining about 45 on Facebook and YouTube, that just showing how much of a child you are. That's what children do. Children just whine about stuff. And you see a lot of men whining. For the first time, you see men in my life, I see men who don't stand for anything. All they want to do is kiss white zaddy and white mommy's butt for a job and for everything else, and then sit back and complain about it. See, that shows a lack of leadership on your part if you're a black man. Okay? Yes, sir. Giving gays reparations. I don't know about that, player. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, for sure. I don't know about that. I don't want to misspeak because that's embarrassing, player. For sure. Yes, sir. Hmm. But look at here. Uh, the Player Circle podcast. We are getting down this coming Saturday. And we're going to get down for the funk of it, as you know, as we always do about this time. Okay? You digs? I'm trying to retrieve something right now. Give me a second. What's this thing doing? Oh man. What's going on here? What the hell? Hold up, y'all. Uh, okay, I passed it there. Shoot. I think I might have passed it. Yeah, I might have passed it. I wonder where I had it at though. Shit. I had it. Oh. Oh, I had it in damn, I messed up. Okay. All right, people. Oh well. Player Circle Podcast. Our topic is going to be American whorehouse culture. Doing something strange for a piece of change. Part 2. That is the topic for Saturday. Doing something strange for a piece of change. We're doing part 2. Okay, last time we did part 1. Okay, we're going to finish up this Saturday. Let's see. At 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Central Time. I might be out of town, so I'm just going to do it from wherever I am. You digs? So that's what's up. Hey, if you can, guys, go ahead and donate. We're just asking for $5 tonight. You can hit me on the Cash App, or you go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button, and get it cracking. Go and get that cracking for the folks. This is August, so you know the cutoff for fundraising for the school book bags and the like the cutoff for that is going to be next week. So I got to get that money in. So don't get an attitude when I start heavily fundraising. A lot of y'all be sitting up here tripping, and some of y'all be tripping. You digs? And I'll be sitting there like, hey, why Iceman? How can you be fundraising, man? I'm like, dude, I ain't explaining it to you. If you're not an Iceman Show family member, you should already know. You digs? But like I said again, our the Players Circle podcast for Saturday. The topic is American whorehouse culture, doing something strange for a piece of change, part 2. You digs? You tune in to the Iceman Show podcast. I am your host, the Iceman. More bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts. Don't nobody go home till the Iceman gets it in. What's happening, y'all? Remember, Player Circle podcast, 4 p.m. Central Time. Y'all know where to be. Y'all know I'm at where I'm at. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. You digs?